Hello and welcome back to Dodge, Parry and Roll, your fortnightly Australian independent video game and existential crisis show. I'm your host for today, Joshua LaRosa, joined by my dear friend, Vinnie. Vinnie, how are you?
Oh, disheveled.
Disheveled.
Disheveled, tired, exhausted. I'm unkempt.
You're sitting a little low today.
Am I? Oh, you know what it is? I've adjusted. Wait, let me just do some.
Making great...
Please.
Yeah, it
go.
looked like you're half my height, which is funny because
Yeah.
it's definitely not the case in real life. But
No.
yeah, Vinnie, how you been?
doing?
Your beard's growing in thick. I was just complimenting you on the beard earlier.
Yeah, it's all. My body goes through phases where it's like, I can't grow a beard, then I can. I don't know why, but it just does that, and now it's coming in super thick.
Yeah.
Whereas the other days it just doesn't. But and I'm in need of a haircut.
Oh my goodness, you're going full Kramer.
Yeah. I've got it's full Kramer.
Yeah, full Kramer. Yeah. The facial hair is interesting. I think it's just not meant to be. Which is crazy, right? Isn't it supposed to happen at some point?
Yeah.
Shouldn't I have to grow facial hair? Like,
You can grow facial hair. I've seen it, but it's
yeah.
it's not what it is. You know, it's like you can't
It's not
like
what
you,
it is.
you can grow facial hair, but you can't wear your facial hair, if that makes sense.
Exactly. It always looks like, oh, he's just had a rough few nights and he just hasn't shaved yet. Even though I'm like, no, it's been a month.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you
if you have
doing?
stumbled across this, I'm well. I'm a little sick. Come down with a bit of the cold. Yeah, not sure how I got it. Let's go through the formalities first, and then we can touch on maybe how I got it.
Right.
But if you stumbled across us here on YouTube, Dodge, Parry and Roll, like I said, fortnightly, we're an independent video game talk show. We just talk about whatever excites us. PlayStation All-Stars roster, Xbox firing all their studios, whatever the wind takes us. We cover the full gambit. So if you have stumbled across our YouTube channel, consider subscribing for more. But yeah, I had a work function last week, and it involved, the usual, the first half of the day is like formal, training stuff, and then the second half is like an activity, which I usually don't like. I always said, like, if I was organizing this, it would just be the end result, which is the bar tab, and not the, like, break into groups and do these activities. But anyway, we had this thing, and we ended up at a place called Hijinks, which I've never been to before. It's in QV.
Oh, Hijinks Hotel.
Yes.
Okay,
And it's basically like, it's not an escape room, but it's like you're in this space where there's like a series of rooms and different activities in these rooms, and you're kind of moving from room to room. And some of it's like really basic stuff, like there's a whole bunch of paintings on the wall with different things, and you hear sounds relating to the pictures, and you got to like run up to the pictures and hit the button next to them, and it's kind of like a test type thing. And there's all different things. But I remember being the germaphobe that I am, going in there and be like, oh. There was one activity in a ball pit. I'm like, I know ball pits are cesspits for like germs.
Ball pits are cesspits. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is an adult. I mean, semi-adult. There's kids in there. It's not like a toddler thing, so it's not like I'm worried about like toddler germs. But it's more. And I mean, I'm not putting my hands in my mouth, but I'm just a little grossed out by it. So I wonder if I somehow touch something. I don't know, and it just
touch your face.
Yeah, it touched my face. I rub my eyes a lot, and apparently my mum was telling me, like, it's your eyes often that gets you sick. Because you're not usually typically putting your hands in your mouth, right? You're usually pretty good about, I've touched something, I won't touch my face. But I always rub my eyes. I do that quite often.
Are you a nose picker at all?
No. Okay. I'm a nose itcher. I mean, I love a good itch. I love a nice
you
outside
love a
the rim. Right outside the rim, Not too deep.
Not too deep. If you
There's
pick,
no
do you not
penetration.
bleed? If you pick, do you not bleed?
I've bled. Yeah. I am not an animal. So yeah, I'm a little under the weather, which is no fun for my wife because she hates when I'm sick. I mean, I hate it. She's going to deal with me whinging, the coughing. I can't really help with the kids. She made a good point today, though. She's like, well, when I'm sick, I need you, because I took today off work, and I'm taking tomorrow off as well. Screw 'em. And she's like, well, when I'm sick next, maybe you'll consider taking a day of leave, like as a carer's leave, and actually use it to care. I said, good point, because I don't, because she has to continue like motherly duties. But when I'm sick, everything goes.
Everything goes.
Everything has to go. But yeah, that's been me. Vinny, what about you? What have you been up to?
Oof. I've been getting slammed by house stuff lately.
Mm-hmm.
It has been... So Sam and I went to a bathroom showroom on the weekend.
Yes.
My partner,
nice.
my girlfriend, Sam. Partner, girlfriend, however you want to say it. Went to a showroom on the weekend and we bought all the items for my bathroom and bought all my tapware, my vanities, my toilets.
Mm-hmm.
And that was I got in a bit of a spending mood. I dropped some money and then
I was gonna say, how's the credit card looking?
Oh, I have applied for a credit card, so I do not have one yet. So I've been trying. I put deposits on stuff.
Yep.
And then I was speaking to Sam, being like, "You should probably get a credit card. You know, the flights and something. Maybe I'll get a free trip out of it when this is all said and done." Yeah, why not? I don't want to get, but no, wogs. They don't want any debt more than they need to. You know what I mean? I don't like the debt idea of the debt trap of having a credit card and like accidentally missing a payment and then being screwed.
Yeah, but you're not. I mean, I've accidentally missed a payment before. Like, we've got a rewards credit card that we did for when we got the house, and it's definitely worth doing when you're doing like house stuff, because it paid for flights to New Zealand. It's paid for multiple gift card when we've gone to gone on a shopping spree or whatever. I mean, you're not the person to fall for the credit. You're not going to all of a sudden go buy a new car or something.
No, I'm not. I'll buy an old card.
I would recommend it.
Yeah, for sure. So we did that, and then we went to, as Josh coughs his life away, a little bit of
my lungs out. Yeah,
that's it. Then bought some flooring. So I now have flooring, which will be getting delivered, and then I just got into a spending mood, be like, I need this. Bought some framing, bought this, bought that.
It's exciting.
But yeah, went out for dinner with Sam. She got a promotion, so took her out for dinner. It was a nice treat. Went for a steak restaurant.
Nice,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful place in Melbourne.
Which one?
It's called a Hereford Beef Stew. I think that's what it's called. Okay. But it's off Flinders Lane. We're in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fun fact. Yeah, just off Flinders Lane, ACDC Lane. Beautiful steak. The best steak I've ever had. The best.
For some reason, it sounded a little
the best, Jerry.
Yeah.
The best.
Oh, it sounded a little Trumpish. The best steak.
It's the best steak. No other steaks can beat this steak. It's the best.
Yeah, it's like very much under that. It's just like, there's never been a better steak.
No, but I had it once 5 years ago, and then I had it again, and it still holds up. So, and then just family stuff. I have had very little time to do some gaming, and it's hard because we have games that we've got to be playing. We're in a bit of an influx of games in the next few months.
Golden era, some might say.
Yeah, the golden era of games. Yeah, like we're both playing, I guess. What games have I been playing? I've been playing 007 First Light. Still enjoying it. Not much, but I haven't been able to play too much.
Where are you up to? How many hours in are you?
I just got the part where I was doing the truck. The
garbage truck?
The garbage truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm honestly not that far into it. I think that's technically like the third or fourth mission. Maybe the third. But it's fun. It's just that cinematic AAA game. The pacing's good for me right now. Pick up, play it, turn it off. I'm really interested to see what other gadgets I'll be getting and if they really make that much of a difference, because I feel like two of them kind of do the same thing already. So
I rely on the dart and the watch to like.
Yeah, the watch is key.
The watch is key. Yeah.
And then the phone
would you
dart.
say this is currently your game of the year? Like, where are you at with this game?
Oh, I'm trying to think of what else I played this year that I really enjoyed. Because I'm not like, it's good, but I don't think it's my game of the year.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was more encapsulated with the gameplay of Saros than I am with this right now. I just haven't had a good chance to lock in, I think. I
Yeah.
feel like I need to lock in.
Yeah. I get that. It's there's no time in this household. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm also playing 007 First Light. I'm about 8 hours in now, so I'd say I'm in like the final maybe 4-ish hours. I feel like I'm at a point in the story where it's like, I've gone to a new location. Like this is the next big set piece bit that may lead into the ending. I mean, according to the PlayStation completion, it's saying that I'm 50%, which I don't think is right. But I'm also not doing the side ops missions. It's like
Okay.
the virtual mission. So it's like I know some games where it's like, because it's technically part of the story, like that actually will add to your completion rating. So like I might complete the game and say 70%, for instance, even though it's technically 100% of the story.
Yeah.
And I still might go back and do those side ups because I do honestly really like the game. I feel it's the closest feeling to like an Uncharted. And I think I said
Yeah.
this last week, that we've had in a very long time. And I think it's a massive step up for IO. Like, I mean, Hitman's always been... I mean, the Hitman games are probably more diverse in terms of gameplay. So they kind of dialed that back a little bit to allow for like the set PC moments of like an Uncharted game.
Yeah.
But it does it really well. Like it's a good mix of the both, and I'm really loving it. So, yeah, I'm hopefully planning on finishing that. I've got a bit of a gap now because we're talking about what I'm going to play next.
Yeah. You slid into my DMs and asked, have you played Xenoblade Chronicles? I was like, yeah, I have. They're good games.
Yeah,
Are you gearing up for Genesis? Is that it?
No, more that I've been hearing and seeing, particularly Chronicles 1 and 3. I've been on my radar
games.
for a long time. But the combat just seems like I don't know if I'm going to like it. So I've been hesitant to jump in. And now with the Switch 2 ports, I'm like, well, if I am going to do it, now is the time. So I'm kind of torn because the physical release for the Switch 2 comes out in late July. But that's no good for me because as we get into August, I mean, it's Metal Gear Collection, it's Beast of Reincarnation, it's Marvel Tokon. There's just a lot. And then September's like obviously insane. So I'm like, now, late June, early, like into July is the time. So I don't know. Maybe I pick up a physical Switch 1 copy and then just upgrade it. If I see you, maybe I'll borrow
Yeah, for sure.
a copy of yours and I'll just pay for the $20 upgrade. And then if I like it, I'll end up buying it.
Yeah.
Just don't know if I want to commit $100 for a digital copy of this game yet,
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah, we'll see. But the other game I've finished is Mina the Hollower, which I think it took me about 15 hours to complete. I'm just checking my playtime. And, boy, this 18 hours. 18 hours in Mina the Hollower. This game may be my game of the year. Yeah, it's funny, like, game like a Pragmata or 007 are definitely great top tier games, and Saros as well. But when I think about a game I was thinking about when I wasn't playing, it was Mina. And I'm a big Yacht Club fan, been a fan of theirs since Shovel Knight. And, I mean, yeah, I think I spoke about Mina a fair bit last week, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I think this might be my current game of the year.
How'd you find the ending? Like, did you feel like it was like resolved, climactic, good story? Without giving too much away.
Yeah, I mean the last stretch, I would say the last 2 hours, I could have had the game finished then. It kind of does that thing where it's like, all right, you've got these 6 things you need to do. You've done all 6. You go into the last dungeon, and it's like, all right, cool. I'm expecting this to be like the end, and then there's like one last dungeon, and I'm like, I was set up to end it here. And the last room before the final boss, which is a traversal thing, so it's not even a spoiler, took me way too long. It was late. Okay. I was just like, I hate this room. I hate this room so much. I've died in this one room dodging these bloody ball things. So that last stretch, it kind of does that thing where it's like boss battle, like right up to the end. Then you beat the boss, and it's like, oh, hold on, another phase. I'm like, okay, cool. And it's like, oh, hold on, one more. And I'm like, okay. So besides that, the game's exceptional. It probably just needed that last hour shaved off.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, not too many complaints. It does end a bit weird. Like, to get to the true ending, you have to really do these like very specific things that you wouldn't think to do. I mean, it's cool for those who want to do it. Like, I just YouTubed it at that point. It wasn't like go back and make this one decision to get a different ending. It's like a full on thing. So yeah, I mean, what a year! What a year! What a year! It's a great year for games. This might go down as one of the best years in video games, I think, ever. Especially if GTA 6 hits, right?
Yeah, I think it will. If they say, because as we all know, October's the no one's touching October, or is it November?
It's September. Well, no one's touching November, which means everyone's going into September, October.
Yeah. So no one's touching November because they think that's going to be the release date for GTA 5.
Yeah,
so no one wants to be a competitor.
November 25th. I mean, pre-orders go live on the 25th of June. So in 2 more days, pre-orders will go live for GTA 6. So we'll probably likely get another trailer. I mean, this game's going to be huge. Like, there's no... There's no analysis here. Like, anyone and their mother will tell you that GTA 6 is going to be huge.
Are you going to pre-order your physical copy?
Yes. Yes, I will. Yes. It's funny. I haven't played GTA since 4 on... No, what are we up to now? 6. So GTA 5 on PS3. So I never replayed it on PS4. Never upgraded. Just... It was the one time I played it, and that was it. So it's been actually a long time.
I think I'm the same. I only played it on the 360 and PS3 era, and then I never touched it. I didn't play like GTA World or like GTA Online kind of thing. Yeah. I never touched that.
Yeah.
I know how much it reels in. It's still one of like the top 10 profitable games of, and it's a game that came out almost 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's always in like the top 10 sales charts every month. It's like like literally an evergreen.
It's an evergreen. And this one will do the same.
Yeah, for sure. Biggest entertainment launch in entertainment history. Like, it's that big. Yeah. All right, moving on. What's the deal with game franchises changing genres? I saw this when you had sent through. We were just kind of discussing what we wanted to talk about. And I did write that in. I was like, that's very... I can hear Jerry Seinfeld kind of doing that. And that led me to...
What's the deal?
Yeah, that led me to my description. One day, Kratos is ripping gods' heads in half, and the next is crawling through a tunnel in a side-scrolling Metroidvania looking for a double jump. But yeah, we wanted to spend some time talking about franchises we'd like to see kind of reinvent themselves, or have reinvent themselves, and you kind of wanted to talk about that reinvention. So, Vinny, since this was your baby, your topic, let's start with you.
Okay. Well, there's... first of all, this came to me only today. I kind of had an inkling. If you want to have a really clear, concise thought, don't bring your phone to the toilet. You'll have a lot of thinking time, and you'll probably do it. You'll probably go to the bathroom a lot cleaner and quicker. So I just thought to myself, okay, what? And I was just thinking about Mega Man, which is one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Yeah.
And how it evolved from a side scroller to a turn based with the spin off shows of like Mega Man, like what's it called? Rockman.exe and Battle Networks. And then even going into like a action adventure game with like the Mega Man X series in the 3D elements. Yep. And he's been everywhere. He's a character in Smash Brothers. He's in like Marvel vs. Capcom. He's just everywhere. And I'm thinking about what kind of franchises that are...
He's in Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
He is in Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
And it's the old American cover art version of Mega Man.
Yeah, that's the best. The Mega Man 2 one? Or is that Mega Man?
Yeah, big fat Mega Man, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, what franchise would I like to see evolve and go diverse from their lineage into something a little bit different? And one of the franchises that instantly came to mind for me was Street Fighter.
Speaking of.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if it's just because I only played the arcade game. I never really knew if there was any other to it, but looking at this Street Fighter movie that's going to hit cinemas real soon, and other than watching the 90s Street Fighter movie and the terrible Chun-Li movie, I cannot think of how this story is coherent and how everyone knows each other. So my theory was how about you make a semi-linear action adventure style game that could go through maybe 1 to 2 to 3 characters and doing a mission-based segment, almost like in the style. I said in the style of Devil May Cry,
Yep.
but I was thinking actually in the more of like Sonic Adventure 2, where
Yeah.
you do different, where you go through, you play as like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and you can play
This
as
is
like
like
Rogue.
Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, is what you're describing, where it's... You ever play that?
No,
It's basically what you're describing. It's like the fighting game turned into like a 3D action game.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, but I said in the style of DMC because DMC still required perfect combo and precisions, so you could get a class system and get your
Yeah.
rank.
Yeah.
So it made the fighting style, because everyone says that DMC is a fighting game, but it's not
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a fighting game versus computer as opposed to fighting versus PvP. So yeah, going through multiple protagonists from the storyline franchise in the story together, precise button inputs and combos still affects the importance of Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. And then I always thought about, you know, the button configuration wouldn't change. You have your light, medium, heavy. You got your Hadouken, Shoryuken. Let's say you play as Ryu. So, if off the top of my head, I was going through like Ryu, Chun-Li, and like M Bison. So once you beat the 2 hero stories, you can play like a villain story.
Oh, look at you designing a game. Yep.
Yeah. And then you go through the your down, medium, heavy, going through a little bit of focus, your focus meter for your parry or spot dodge. You have your supers, like you got all your mechanics there for it to be more of a like all your Kratos like God Rage kind of thing. Breakout. For your super.
I'm kind of seeing this as even like a marrying of like Sifu and Onimusha.
Yeah, see yeah.
The new Onimusha game coming out, where it's like kind of linear, level based, but then a bit more, Sifu-esque in terms of like combat.
Yeah.
What a great
And-
game, Sifu.
Yeah, Sifu was good. And then when I was thinking about the world, I was going to like Street Fighter 2 territory, where you pick a new character in the story and it goes like Japan, USA. So, you go to Metro City, you go to Kyoto, Mount Fuji, you go to the Amazon, you verse Blanca. Then you end up in the Shadaloo base and you verse Bison kind of thing. And then from like an RPG and progression style of things, like your boss battles are obviously other Street Fighter characters, but when you beat them, your leveling system is you might be able to learn one of their abilities. It's like you select like one of 3. So, and then you could probably import that into your character if you wanted to. So if you versed like Dalsim, you could get his teleport. If you wanted, you could get like if you beat Guile, you could get his Sonic Boom or his like backflip.
So like Mega Man-esque, beat the boss and get the power.
Yeah. And yeah, you go through all of them. And then you meet older retired fighters who just they're just there for like side missions like E Honda and stuff.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and as I kept thinking about it, I like started writing stuff down. I thought it'd be kind of interesting only because I never really understood how Street Fighter comes together because it's just it's a world tournament, and if you watch the 90s movie, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And but it seems like everyone's got like all these interlocking parts. You got like Guile and Cammy.
Yeah.
Got, like
Ryu and Ken. Yeah.
Ryu and
yeah.
Ken, and then like Dan's there. It's just
All
I just
over
thought it'd be
the
really cool to see. Yeah,
Yeah. Interesting.
thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like it kind of sounds in the vein of Onimusha, like the way that game's being presented. I think you could do it, except instead of a samurai guy, it's like, fisticuffs. You play as Ryu.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see Capcom expand what Street Fighter means. I mean, the latest Street Fighter had a pretty in-depth story mode, which is like, I wouldn't say new to Street Fighter, but it's definitely not been the focus. Where like NetherRealm, like Mortal Kombat game, is like it would have a pretty quote unquote compelling campaign, but Mortal Kombat's got a very much known story. It has like a linear progression of what happens. Where you're right with Street Fighter, I don't know. I know there's Ryu. I know there's Ken. He's kind of like friend rival.
Yeah.
Belunka's like out there, electrocuting guys, but I'm like, I don't know, like, what's his backstory? How did he become the way he is? Do I need to know? I don't know, but what is it? And it kind of like the thing with Street Fighter, it's like it plays in that like reality yet magical place where it's like, some of these characters are literally shooting fireballs, but it seems more grounded in like than Mortal Kombat, where it's NetherRealm and all that. So yeah, I mean that'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see Capcom take a risk like that with a known IP.
Like it could be bad. It could be I'm just trying to think of games that just kind of miss the mark in terms of their open worldness.
Check out Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
Okay.
I wonder if
is it bad?
I mean, it was at the time. I mean, it's bad today. It's a PS2 game. It's very cheesy, but it's kind of they did what you kind of said, where it's they took a fighting game and it's like the boss battles would kind of nearly turn into like a fighting match. Which is kind of cool as well. For me, I actually probably didn't have as much detail in the ones that I had written down. I did write down a few though. Sly Cooper Metroidvania, which I feel like is an easy.
That is an easy one.
But I was picturing in my mind. I remember a game called Mark and the Ninja. It was a Xbox 360 era Xbox Live game. I'm kind of seeing like a combination of Mark and the Ninja, Shinobi, which launched last year, and Guacamelee. I don't know if you ever played Guacamelee back in the day, Drinkbox Studios.
Yes.
I could see it. I feel like the art style, I can see the stealth aspects playing out and kind of having to like, I can see the game screen. I can see like kind of Sly like climbing or doing that, that he's up against the wall and you're on its 2D plane. But I'm seeing it very much in the style of not a full-on Metroidvania like a Metroid game, but more, like I said, they're more in the realm of Shinobi, where it's like these levels themselves are kind of Metroidvania-esque, but then you move on from those levels to another level. And I think you could tell a really cool story. You can maybe tell an origin story, do a little bit more about clockwork, just to drum up some interest in the IP. But unlike God of War Ghost of Sparta, I feel like that was just the wrong team, the wrong game. You want to find a really talented team. So, Drinkbox Studios, with what they did with Guacamelee, even from an art style perspective and aesthetic, I think would be a good pick. And a relatively cheap game to develop too. I think, I don't think this is something Sony would actively consider because they're more interested in the big AAA bangers these days. But I just think that would be cool.
I think so too. I think the idea of having but this is what they talk about. They always have these massive AAA games, and there's not much. And they always say, these things take years to develop. They always fall short. They most of the time always fall short in terms of sales, and it hurts the development. And then they're like, oh, we got to invest harder into the safe ones.
Yeah.
But if you give, like I said, a known IP that has a fan base that is craving some kind of comeback.
Yeah.
And just give it something small like that. Like how it's nice to see those kinds of mini games, those spin-offs, when done right and handled with someone who's passionate about the game, or passionate about the IP. I feel like is always you can always tell the difference between someone who's going for a cash grab and someone's like going for a passion project.
Yeah, and I think that's, if I'm Sony, that's the play. It's like where our teams are going to make these games, but second and third parties, we should kind of dabble. And we're not making these things to be a big revenue earner, but just to like,
get more exclusives. Get more exclusives to
PlayStation. I mean, you would have it exclusive. That's fine, but more to kind of like spread out the. I feel like because games take so long now that, like, if you go back to the PS3 generation, Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, they were like continuous improvements of the same formula.
Yeah.
And you didn't feel jaded by it because it was like, well, in 4 years, what was it? 2007, 2009, 2011. The whole trilogy came out in that period of time.
Yeah.
You don't feel it. Where it's like, now it's God of War 2018, God of War 2022, and now God of War Lao Fei next year. Because you're waiting so long, it's nearly like you want every game to be a reinvention as opposed to like the sequel because you've waited so long.
Yeah, it's
And
almost
on
time to
their
reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, and on their end, it's like, well, we spent all this money and all this time. It makes sense to stay in this world and expand it. Ghost of Yoto, Tsushima and Yoto, perfect example. So, what I think could be an interesting play is just have these like random projects happening. Don't spend crazy amounts of money, and have this be a nostalgia play. Launch it into PlayStation Plus, whatever, and it just kind of diversifies the portfolio a little bit. So yeah, that would be a personal selfish pick for me. Probably the other one I want to call out here, because the others are kind of happening, so I don't think we really need to talk about it, but Astro Kart.
Is a cool one.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about where do they go with Astrobot, because they've gone... I mean, the next logical step is like, do you have another game with another set of Astrobots that you collect? Sure, maybe that's something. The natural step would be, okay, instead of collecting the bots, let's spend more time in the world. So you've got your Uncharted level, but what if you had like a living, breathing Uncharted like set of stages, and then you move to like another franchise and another franchise, and do it that way. So it's like less about the bots, more about the worlds and existing in the world.
Yeah.
That's one other angle. That's probably the more likely one. And then the third one is like, why don't we do Astro Kart? I mean, we haven't had a kart racer on PlayStation in a very long time.
Yeah.
We had Little Big Planet karting. We had Mod Nation races. I don't know if you remember Mod Nation races.
I do remember Mod Nation.
PS3. I actually really like Mod Nation races. And yeah, I feel like, why not? I mean, you can see it. You could see all the bots from all the PlayStation characters, all the worlds. You can have the worlds like warping into each other. So it's like, here's a stage that goes from Ratchet and Clank to Sly Cooper to Jak and Daxter in the one stage. Kind of like what they did with PlayStation All-Stars, where it's like, the two worlds kind of colliding in the background. There you go. There's a game.
There you go. And you know what? A lot of assets are already done from the PS5.
Yeah. And I mean, a good kart racer would go down. And then after that, you can do a platform fighter. We'll see. Yeah. So, yeah. Anything else you wanted to touch on there? On that? I think it was a brisk discussion, but...
It was a brisk discussion. It was a fun discussion, though.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to have these little... We don't want to be all news, you know what I mean?
You and I keep news anywhere else, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have these little fun quips.
Yeah. Speaking of fun quips, I'm wearing the Final Fantasy 16 t-shirt today. It's the 3-year anniversary. I think it just passed or is happening today or it's, this week. So I just want to shout out to Final Fantasy 16. Probably one of the top 10 best games of this generation.
Okay. Yeah, sure, whatever.
And one of the best Final Fantasy games ever created. Okay. At least in the top 5.
Okay. I'm going to shout out Sonic the Hedgehog because I'm pretty sure it's Sonic's birthday in June.
Sonic Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, June 23rd. It's actually today.
There you go. Happy Sonic Day for those who celebrate.
35th birthday. 35th birthday to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
One of the best franchises ever.
I don't know if you saw this today before we jump into our next piece of discussion. Did you see the Steam Deck got announced in a more formal faction? And did you see the prices that went alongside it?
It is going to be approximately 1,000 American or like 1,600 US. AUD.
It starts with like over 1,000 US for the 512 gig model with no controller, and then it goes up from there to like $1,600 USD. So I can only imagine how much this thing would cost here in Australia.
This is a premium product.
Yeah, I mean, I think Valve spoke about like, this is obviously not the price we wanted to launch this thing at. It was probably very clearly supposed to be like a $799 console, which is probably about right for what it is. And we had a topic a few weeks back where it's like when Steam was entering in the console wars, right? And we were kind of having that debate of whether this was going to be sold as a bespoke kind of online only purchasing thing a la Steam Deck, or were you going to be able to walk into an EB Games and buy it? And I think we both landed on the reality, which is, this is just it's something for
an
Steam players
enthusiast.
to play around with and take their, just like how people take their Steam games on the go with Steam Deck. Well, now they can take their games into the living room if they want.
Yeah.
But man, we're really setting up for a great next generation, aren't we?
Yeah, so I remember we had a discussion of being like the PS5 Pro was it subsidizing the PS6 or whatever, and then you're gonna do a PS6 you're gonna be under $1,000. Do you still think that's the case? Do you still think the PS6 is gonna be under 1,000 AUD?
Yes, I think so. I mean, Sony has a different level of scalability that a Valve doesn't have. Like these, Sony has relationships with manufacturers and part makers purchasing in the millions. So economies and scale would suggest that Sony will have. I still think Sony must know that if you want a console to sell in the 100 million, it needs to be priced in a reasonable way. And it is my hope that what is happening in the world with the chip shortages specifically is a moment in time. Sony's likely locked in parts and components and pricing for a launch period, that Sony just bite the bullet and just launch this thing at a loss even. Because there is I think a major risk that if Sony launches this thing at a higher price and sells through less units, that it's just like how we saw the pivot from physical to digital really get pushed in COVID, and all of a sudden it went from 70% to 90% of games being digital, and now there's no going back.
Yeah.
There is that risk that with PS6 and the next gen Xbox, that if they're not enticing enough, people will stick with what they have, and the whole concept of console generations will just dissolve as a result of that. And I do think we're going to see PS5 stick around a lot longer than, like, say, PS4 still has stuck around, but Sony will going to have to support PS5 for a lot longer still. And, Sony's making moves like pulling their games off PC and going back to exclusives probably for that purpose, to kind of go, okay, well, let's narrow in, so let's have a big push into PS6. But yeah, from a pricing perspective, I mean, what's a PS5 now in USD? $599?
So were we saying 1,000 USD or were we saying 1,000 AUD? Is that what the theory was?
Are you talking for PlayStation 6? Is that what you're asking for?
I
mean, I'm Australian, but I talk in USD because that's just.
So you said it was going to be under 1,000. When you said under 1,000, you meant USD.
USD, yeah. So PS5 now is $649, and that's up from it launched at $399 for the digital version, or $499. So they've gone up by like $300 in the US, and I mean in Australia it's done the same thing. So it is my hope that PS6 will launch. I would love it to launch for like $599, $699, which seems incredibly low in today's market. But PS5s have like stopped selling because of the last price hike. They'll get an increase with GTA, and Sony's got a big enough audience now when they're probably close to 100 million, where it's like, all right, let's we can focus on subsidizing via our existing fan base, then selling consoles at a loss right now and losing money because of the component race. But they won't be able to do that with PS6, where it's like they will need to get that in people's hands. So I hope they take a loss on it and subsidize the heck out of it, even if they know that subsidizing it is a moment in time, and they might only have to do it for 2 years, and just wear those losses because they risk the model falling apart.
It's funny where it's like I'm now thinking about buying I didn't think about it at all about buying a PS6 on launch, but now the fact that the prices have actually gone up for the console, I'm actually, and this is probably the one time in my, in the last few years where it's like, I will probably say, hey, I'm probably going to buy a PS6 on launch because it is actually the cheapest option for me in the long run.
Yeah.
And I'll have access to all the new stuff.
Could they, obviously they're going to drop the disk drive, right? Have it a digital at launch, and you can buy the disk drive separate. We know that will cut costs. Can they do what Valve's doing with Steam Deck and be like, well, we're not making a DualSense 2. It's the DualSense, right? And your PS5 controllers work with your PS6. And there's no... I mean, what else can you do to this thing? No controller. Don't bundle in a controller. Like, is there ways where they can shave costs to keep the price down?
Yeah. Do the old the Wii U option, the premium and the basic.
Yeah, dude. You know, maybe that was a play. Maybe they were going to launch this thing with a terabyte hard drive or 2 terabytes, right? Maybe don't. Maybe do a 500 gig one. Yeah. And if the hard drive's just the straight, you know, you can upgrade it just like you can with the PS5 now. Maybe these are the concessions you need to make to keep the price at a fair point. It just gets interesting at that point what they do with PS5, because there's talks around PS6 will technically be cheaper to make than PS5 because of the components the PS5 needs.
Yeah.
So does Sony just really limit PS5 in market, where it's like
limited quantities stock?
Yeah, like you know it. They want people onto PS6 so quickly. Yes, they will support PS5 into the 2030s, right, in terms of game releases, but that's not to say that they will just stop manufacturing them at a certain point. If, you know, they work, they're not going to order new parts. They're just going to be like, no, we need people in PS6. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. So moving on to our kind of other big topic. I think this is one, you know, we talk about not necessarily loving talking about video game news necessarily week on week, but this is probably something where it's like, how do you even avoid
it?
How do you avoid this? And this has been spoken about across, I mean, every media outlet, pundit out in the industry. So it'd be interesting to see if we had any new diverse takes than what's already out there. But this is the big Xbox reset. So obviously we stepped out of E3 season, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Feels like a lifetime ago now. And everything was flying high for Team Green. They, you know, and had I think a very strong show. They had Gears of War and Clockwork Revolution come out as console exclusives. Their figureheads were out there kind of talking around this doubling down on console, this doubling down on these exclusive titles that, you know, Xbox fans can continue to see on a you know, fairly often basis. And then as with all things Xbox, the good news is very much overshadowed by the bad. So Asha Sharma, you know, new CEO of Xbox, released a memo that she publicly shared, probably because she knew it was going to get leaked. And this was around the reset needing for the brand. So I'll just read a little bit here. The reset began after leadership changes earlier this year, with new CEO Asha Sharma announcing a broad restructuring designed to improve profitability, streamline operations, and refocus the business after years of declining hardware performance and some enormous cost loss as a result of the Blizzard acquisition. Microsoft has reportedly signaled significant layoffs, budget reductions, and organizational changes following the end of FY26, which is later this month, June 30th. The stated goal seems to be a focus on high-performing franchises, improving profit margins, reduce overhead across studios and publishing, rebuild Xbox's console identity, and prepare for the next generation of Project Helix. So in this memo, Asha spoke about the financial realities of Xbox, performing at a 3% profit margin, what they call I think Microsoft call it their accountability margin, which is funny. So this is essentially for every... How does that work? For every dollar spent, Microsoft is keeping 3 cents of that dollar. Yeah. They spoke about the investment of over $20 billion into the Xbox brand, and obviously this doesn't take into account the acquisitions of ABK and ZeniMax. Since then, it's kind of been a whirlwind of news. We've had Microsoft CEO talk about, you know, needing to monetize the Xbox brand, and made a joke along the lines of YouTube's done a better job of monetizing Xbox than Xbox has. Seemingly somewhat fed up with this subsidizing that Microsoft's done to keep Xbox afloat, and now needing them to operate in a sustainable business model. So I guess all those talks we've had over the last 10 years around Game Pass and sustainability, well, here we are.
Yeah.
So quickly jumping down the news, multiple outlets have kind of reports reported on potential studio closures and potential buyouts that are happening. The studios that are seemingly impacted are going to be the likes of Ninja Theory, which just announced Senua at the last showcase, the new Hellblade-related project. Double Fine Productions, this is obviously the smaller team behind Psychonauts, and Tim Schafer is the head there. Compulsion Games, the studio behind We Happy Few and South of Midnight. And we're also hearing other studios are also seemingly going to be impacted from a closure or spin-off perspective, and that includes studios like Arcane Studios, which are the team working on Blade. And I've also took a screenshot from an article that I was reading earlier today around a rumor of what the studio closures are going to be.
Wow.
And this was based on an anonymous post on a forum, on an internal corporate platform forum that requires Microsoft verification. So potentially what this is suggesting is that to post on this forum, you'd have to be an employee or have some sort of connection to Microsoft. And this claim suggests that studio closures are Compulsion Games, Ninja Theory, but also the Flight Simulator team, World's Edge, which is the studio behind Age of Empires, and Double Fine. So roughly 1,000 plus people will be laid off across these studios. Halo is safe, Gears is safe. Most of the layoffs come from the entire studio closures. Arcane isn't listed on this, by the way. Additional layoffs are expected in services and other teams, but no further full studio closures are anticipated outside the ones listed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential studios set to be impacted. So that's a lot. Covered a lot. That's about a week or two's worth of like, wake up, this has happened, and this studio's happened, and we're hearing about this team, bleak, and this has happened. And so Vinny, take it from any direction you want, any thread that you want to, but this doesn't seem too good, obviously.
No, it doesn't. This seems that Microsoft they just had more money than sense, is what I could find in this sense. They thought they could buy up all the studios, make all the money. Xbox has gone to the toilet, and they're like, "Well, we got to cut costs somewhere." It's like, "Oh, let's take out these studios that have done pretty good work, not the best work in a while." I mean, Psychonauts 2 being the last thing they did that was semi-successful from Double Fine, which was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah. 2024.
24, 23?
Yeah, I'll Google that.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. And then you got the Flight Simulator games, which is kind of like weirdly iconic in its own right. I mean, it's
2021
for a studio.
Jesus.
Psychonauts 2, 2021.
Yeah.
Fuck.
25th of August.
God damn. I feel like I remember that only being a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's just not a good look for Xbox. It's closing these studios that have produced such beloved games that have such a cult following. If you're closing down studios, if this is confirmed, closing down the Age of Empires studio and the Flight Simulator studio is crazy. Age of Empires just announced its Lords of the North, or whatever it's called, expansion for Age of Empires 4.
Yeah.
War in the North.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's called.
I mean, we don't know if we can trust. Sorry to cut you off, because I was just thinking when I was reading it, I'm like, Flight Simulator, I'm sure that's not developed by a Microsoft-owned team. And it isn't. It's Asobo Studios, who are the guys who do Flight Sim and also do the Plague Tale games. So, I don't know. Because that's not a first-party team.
Maybe it's cutting his deal.
I mean, cutting ties, maybe. I mean, I it's published by Xbox, but it's not a... So, I mean, take what we're saying with a grain of salt. No, I mean, Jason Schreier, who's obviously a major figurehead in the business, has spoken about Compulsion, Ninja Theory, and Psychonaut and Double Fine specifically. Others have spoken about Arcane, and then there was this, this thing that I read as well. But, I mean, we all don't know, so we're just kind of...
It's all speculation.
Yeah. But yeah,
continue. Speculation. Nothing's really going to get announced until, end of financial year, when they kind of do all their they're reporting, and it all goes live, and everyone gets upset
Yeah.
because you really. This is the thing. It's like studios were fine, and I hate this where they. And I guess it's similar in the music industry where you see like, oh, I've signed a big label, like it's all gonna work really well for me. It's all gonna turn out great. But then studios be like, oh, well, you got to do this, and we don't like what you're doing. We're actually gonna take it away from you, and then you won't be able to work in this town again. And and for the music industry, here's a little tangent. It's like they own you, so you can't make music anywhere else. You can't go and leave. Like they still own you. If you whatever music you make, they own it. And same with like Xbox is what like if this studio chose to go and make a game somewhere else, like they can't release it. It's a breach of contract, and it's crazy how you get your big payout, which is only for the 1%ers of the company who sign that deal and make that money and then bail out, but then everyone else is affected, and it's just that. The monopoly of the world really, really hurts. It just sucks, man. Like I hate seeing studios like close and stuff. And even I can't remember what I was watching. I think it was the WAN show, which is a Linus Tech Tips show. He spoke about how the probability of making it big in the gaming industry now as a developer is almost is like not 1 for 1, but it's almost like the Twitch thing where the big 1%ers in Twitch make all the money, and then the 99% make sweet fuck all, which is similar for game studios now. Yeah. You have your big AAA titles who make a lot of the money, and then all the other indie studios and all the other like some of the double A's and third party studios, they break even. They might profit a little bit, but they're not like they're getting by, but it's not.
Yeah. Most independent studios are just excited to be able to make their next game. And I'm just reading the comment section of that post that I was talking about before. And it's funny enough, like how it kind of came to us as we were talking through. A lot of people like, this is clearly fake because Asobo, again, isn't a first party team. So, I mean, this is the nature of like just speculation going out of hand. So, again, take everything we've said with a grain of salt. But like we also said, Ninja Theory, Compulsion, and Double Fine seemingly are the three that are not confirmed, but heavily indicated by some of the top journalists in the industry. But to your point, yeah, like, it's interesting. These teams were purchased at a time... I say that a lot. I've noticed. It's interesting. I find everything interesting.
It is interesting, though.
It is interesting. These teams were purchased at a point in time, like in that 2018-19 period, for a very specific purpose. It's like, hey, we've got Game Pass. We need games for Game Pass. And that's the role that your team will have. Phil Spencer had really strong relationships with a lot of these guys as well, and him leaving is definitely probably put a freeze on that. Now that Microsoft and Xbox are seemingly wanting to double down on their big studios and their big IP, what does a team like Double Fine or Compulsion, what role do they play? So on one hand, it absolutely sucks to see these studios close. I'm not defending Microsoft in any way, but in their defense, there's probably a case to say that would some of these studios have naturally faltered over time if Microsoft didn't purchase them? I think so. Like, would Compulsion Games still be around if they weren't purchased in 2018, 2019? They made We Happy Few, small indie team. Would they have made South of Midnight without Microsoft's money and backing? Don't know.
Potentially not.
Double Fine's an interesting one because obviously the history there with Tim Schafer and the team, and it's like I would say Tim, no disrespect, isn't like a Kojima or anything, but he's a known kind of person in the industry from a game development perspective. I mean, he does a lot for the industry as well, so I'm not taking any of that away from him. Ninja Theory is an interesting one because they just announced Senua like 2 weeks ago, and apparently, I don't know if this is like Microsoft trying to be nice, or is this a scummy move? They showed the game for the purpose of drumming up interest from potential buyers, but so they want to give the team a chance to sell themselves. But in my mind, I'm like, which publisher out there is going to be like, Microsoft is selling this team they clearly don't want. They announced the game for it. Let's buy it. No, I don't think. So I think it actually sucks that the fact that this game got showed at a showcase, was promised to people, had the Xbox branding, the Game Pass thing in it, and now we're finding out that you're actually ceasing development, and in fact you're all fired.
Yeah. I mean, you could do the... So when I think of, getting rejected from one studio and get picked up by another, it does lead... I think movie studio is a way of saying it does yield generally some good results. I think of Home Alone is a perfect example. Got that thing floated around a couple of studios, and I think it was originally... It landed on 20th Century Fox. I think it got dropped by Universal or Columbia, and then got made at 20th Century, and then like one of the biggest movies of the year, one of the biggest movies of all time. Like, no budget. And like these miracles can happen. It is hard to replicate though. It is one of those things where it's if Microsoft doesn't believe in it and they have the money, who else is going to believe in it? But it would just be nice to see, because the game looks cool. I think is it a Vinnie game? I don't know. Have to like.
I didn't like Hellblade 2. Did
you like Hellblade 1?
I did. It was a lot more novel back then to have this kind of more linear, really graphically intense game. But then Hellblade 2 was like really graphically like stunning, but there was not much of a game there, and it literally took them 7 years to make a 5-hour experience.
True.
But I like the team, because that's the team that made, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, DMC, Heavenly Sword for PS3.
Heavenly Sword,
yeah. So there were, once a team that were, I think, holding their own in that space, and worked on some pretty big IP. So it has been interesting to see them dwindle. And we did see their creative director leave the studio right before Hellblade 2 launched, which is never a good sign. I think he was one of the founders. So, I mean, like, from a conversations perspective, there's a million different threads we can pull, and I think a lot of it has been said around, like, this is shitty. Like, Microsoft obviously want to turn themselves into, like, this known producer of games based on their biggest IP. You're gonna get more Halo, you're gonna get more Fallout, you're gonna get more Fable, potentially, more Gears. Like, that's what they want to be. They're obviously trying to do this whole like recommitment to the console piece, which I just don't see playing out.
No, I don't either.
That's a conversation for another day around like, oh, they're going to stick to exclusives. I mean, if you've got a 3% profit margin, you're launching a new piece of hardware into a world where it's likely going to be quite expensive. Is Microsoft even going to subsidize it, given how low their kind of returns are currently? And if it isn't going to be cheap, and will it sell in a world where there's a PlayStation competitor that may be subsidized and is obviously going up against PlayStation, which is the market leader as well, right? So, I mean, that's a conversation, but I think there is probably a more interesting conversation, probably as we wrap things up, to focus on this topic, is more along the lines of the industry is going through not a crash, but a crisis.
It's definitely a crisis.
There is more games being made, right? We spoke about at the start, like, holy shit, this year is like nuts. Yeah. Pragmata, Resident Evil into Pragmata, into Saros, into 007, into, Mina's a small scale game. But then, they're going into July, and then going into August. Then you've got all the big heavy hitters. You got Wolverine. You got this. Like, it's just banger after banger after banger after banger. So there is this interesting concoction that's happening where it's like there are too many games being made, right? Meaning there are less winners, and the winners are winning big and not leaving much for everyone else. Like, I think I remember talking about or reading through an article from Matt Piscatelli out of the analyst firm Sakana, and he was explaining how like 50% of gamers' time and money is being spent on 10 games, and then your Roblox, Fortnite, those big games. So whilst gaming is bigger than ever, there's more people playing than ever. there are more people funneled down this very, like, these 10 games. So what it means is the other 45% of players are now the people buying these, or the people potentially who would buy these games, right? The people who are not just playing Fortnite. These are the people that will buy potential games, right?
Yeah.
Then the percentage of people who buy game to game, like me, is like 4% of the market. So I think 4% of the market would buy a game every month. I think the number was. And then I'm like in that 1.5% where it's like I buy maybe 2 games or 1.5 games, like depending on the month, right? Depending on how many. September, I'm buying 4 games. Like it's just depending on the month. So, I mean, September is Wolverine, Blood of Dawnwalker, Trails in the Sky, second chapter, and there was another. Like it's insane. It's insane. So, where the PS2, PS3 generation was a lot more of buy this game, then buy this game. Because things were like, you play it, you finish it in 20 hours. There was a multiplayer suite that you wouldn't spend your life in. People were just going game to game to game to game. So now it's like, well, half of your market's taken up by these 10 games. The other half of the market have so many options because there are so many games. There are free-to-play games. There are subscription services. There's competing things across other entertainment things like TikTok and whatever. So now it's like a slice of that pie is even smaller of people buying games. Yeah, it's a sliver. You know, we often scoff at like 1 million sales, right? It's like, oh, well, you know, this game needs to sell 10 million copies to make money. 90% of games are lucky to get anywhere near 1 million copies sold. And we forget that. So the industry is going to have to, I think, right size. As bad as it sounds, there's probably too many games, too many developers, like too much. And it was all done at a time where COVID happened and people thought that this is like, you know, chart goes up. But it's not.
More people had the time to play games, so therefore the frequency was up.
Yeah.
And like they did it with Twitch blew up more than ever. Like online gaming blew up more than ever. It's the same thing. But then once people started going back to reality, less people had time to do things. Obviously, crisis with, you know, the world and the economy.
Yeah, people are struggling and
yeah, no one has time to buy these games, which is why, you know, subscription services have come in and being kind of like the savior for that point. Xbox doing this, but not really profitable from a I guess a standpoint, but really good in a sense for the people who only have that money to spend for a catalog of games. But yeah, it's too much. Like I think, look, for it to win, some people have to lose. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one.
It sucks.
It sucks, but there will be studio closes. Hopefully it means in the long run that it becomes more of a bigger studios, but less studios. So those talented people in the industry get picked up and pushed in another studio. Those studios become bigger. They start branching off into little into, you know, doing work in 2 projects, 3 projects at a time in the same studio. That's how you keep the catalog similar, keeping it not similar. That's how you keep the catalog consistent.
Yeah.
It's how you keep it more refined and not having so much influx of games in certain times. Because yeah, if everyone's got too many hands, like too many cooks in the kitchen, too much stuff's getting sold and like advertised and played and but not everyone's doing it, like you said. You know, there's always going to be a Fortnite. There's always going to be a PUBG. There's always going to be a GTA Online. There's going to be a FIFA. Your NBA.
Do you want to hear
your
a
Call of Duty
prediction? This is I don't say this with any hope that this actually happens. I think over the next 5 years, right, we're going to see a shrinking of developers unlike anything we've ever seen. Like, I think Sony will close studios, Microsoft will obviously close studios, EA will close studios, and I could see a world in 10 years' time where a vast majority of the games we play are made in foreign countries that aren't Western. So I think you're still going to have a Naughty Dog, you're still going to have a Rockstar, you're going to have these big tentpole teams that are reliable kind of safety nets. But I think a lot of game development will be out of Korea, out of China, and out of Japan. Which, I mean, some of my favorite games are Japanese games. Like it's all Korean. Lies of P. Come on now. But I just think that when you got a team like take Bungie, right? They're in Seattle or whatever, like 800 employees. I think the rumor is like nearly 50% of those are going. But whatever, you take any Western team, the cost per employee per month
It's ridiculous.
is like, I think Jason Schreier did a video on this, like why games are so expensive. It's like, by the time you factor in rent and all these things, it's like each person per month is costing the studio $15,000. So when you got a team of 200 people and $15,000 a month per person on average, that's why you're getting $300-400 million games. It's just not sustainable. Where in Japan, in China, and Korea, people are just naturally paid less. So games are cheaper to make. So I think we're going to see a shift back. I think it's funny, you go to the PS3 generation, it's like we shifted away from Japanese games. You remember that era where it's like there was no good RPGs?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy was dying, Square Enix was nowhere, Capcom was like falling apart, Konami disappeared. And now look, it's like, well, Capcom are the top of their game. Square Enix are still plodding along. Konami's making a comeback. Korean studios are taking over. Black Myth Wukong comes out of nowhere out of China and in terms of graphical prowess is defeating studios that have been making games forever. And this is a team that I think they made mobile games before. Like, it's just, I think we're in for a very big shift.
We got that chicken coming soon.
Yeah, we got that God of Chicken.
God of Chicken.
I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I mean, that's a pretty bold prediction. I don't know if it's bold because I think it's a likely.
I think it's going to happen.
But yeah, it's just I don't see it happening any other way.
No, I don't see it. If you want the industry to survive, I think it's where they're going to pivot. It's going to be those studios making everything. Not everything. You have your indies. You have your indie studios. I think indies are still primarily very big in the Western culture.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main studios, people are going to work out of. They're going to be studios here, but they're going to have teams down there.
That's the other option where it's like, all right, Naughty Dog, you're not
international studios.
Yeah, you're not your 200-300 people. You're a team of 50 or 100, and it's like your development power is actually out of a team in Korea, right?
Yeah.
I mean, AI will have a role to play in this in terms of hopefully bringing budgets down, but I think we're in for. I mean, Australia doesn't have a booming gaming industry, but like if I was in the States and I was young and I was like, I want to be a game developer, I don't think that's a viable option now.
No.
It's like, in a smaller scale, look at games media, where it's like, I remember back in the day, it's like, God, if I could work at IGN one day, like imagine like that would be so awesome. And now it's like, well, no one even wants to work there. It's like, well, everyone's independent or people are doing their own things. And
it's just left IGN.
Yeah, it's a different world now. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a somber note. We don't kind of talk about this stuff with like excitement. It's from a conversation analyst perspective, it's like it's interesting to kind of see how things shake out, but it sucks.
Yeah, it's grim.
It's grim. I mean, Sony's not going to be like indicated before. Like Sony will do the same. There are studios there that haven't released games this entire generation. You got Bungie kind of hanging around their neck. Like there's going to be
Destiny Mobile though.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. And I mean, EA's selling to a Saudi Arabia mob, so I think they're going to do a whole bunch of cuts to make themselves look more profitable. Embracer Group have closed a whole bunch of studios. Apparently, Tencent's pulling out from a lot of funding. It's just a different world, right? The investment's going into different places now. So, yeah, I mean, gaming will always be around. I think it will still be something we all, hopefully Vinny and I are doing in 10, 15, 20 years. But I think it's going to be a fundamentally different landscape. And these first parties need to adapt. Fortunately, 2 of the 3 are Japanese. But, yeah, I've spoken about this in the past. Like, Sony have tried opening the door into China and Korea. They need to kick that door in and be there and be ready for what's coming. So, yeah, bit of a somber way to kind of wrap that conversation up. But let's end on a high note. let's move on to our final segment. Unless you had anything else you wanted to say there, Vinny. Sorry, I
No,
rambled on.
no. It's okay. I know it is a somber note. I think the only way to, I'd say, no. I'm gonna leave for another time. I'll leave for another time.
You sure?
But yeah, let's go to the next one.
Yep. All right. Let's wrap up with Perfect Parry, our segment that Vinny and I do each fortnight, where we try to predict the Metacritic score of our latest and upcoming release. So, Vinny, you're actually ahead at the moment with 18 points. I am currently sitting at 13 points. Now, you might be asking yourself, how does this work? So we're going to bring up the image on the screen. But essentially, we will predict the Metacritic score for an upcoming game. If you guess the game's Metacritic score on the knocker, you get 10 points. And then for every number outside of that, up or down, it goes from 4, 3, 2, and 1 points on either side. So we've done games like Crimson Desert, Pragmata, Saros, Batman Lego, 007 First Light, and now we're up to Star Fox, which is launching in 2 days from the time of recording. So, Vinny, I don't know if you can refresh the page. Actually, no, let's do our predictions first, just in case the scores have come in. Because we're doing this one right down to the wire. But Star Fox for Nintendo Switch 2. Vinny, what's your gauge on this? Are you a Star Fox guy? Like,
I'm not a Star Fox guy,
okay.
but I mean, I played the 3DS version, Star Fox 64. And I played it on emulator, but I never finished it. I never finished the 64 version. It just wasn't my game, and I wanted to play. I played Star Fox Adventures on GameCube, so I played a little bit. I've dabbled. Fox is one of my favorite melee characters, Smash Brothers, all that jazz. But real question is, are you a Star Fox guy? What's your gauge on this?
No, I'm not. I actually have. I played the opening part of the demo.
Oh, you did the demo?
Not even a mission. Like, I did the training. Just, like, I had, like, 10 minutes. So I was just like, I'll try this. From what I saw, like, I haven't even done a proper level. So this is not even me going, well, I've got an advantage because I've played the game. I really haven't. I saw the opening cutscene and did, like, the tutorial bit.
Yeah.
From what I saw, it is surprisingly high quality. From a like graphical standpoint, from a like a sound design, it seems to be taking itself like somewhat seriously, not in terms of tone, but in terms of what it is. Like, it's not like a cheap attempt at a remake. It seems like they're actually trying to turn it into like,
I want to reboot the franchise.
Yeah, like really, really highly detailed cutscenes. Like, apparently there's cutscenes in between every mission. It's like pretty high level, high quality. It's hard because I don't have a nostalgic feeling for the game. I mean, my interactions with Star Fox in the past have been on Smash Brothers. So I don't think this is one I'll pick up personally. If Nintendo games ever went on sale, I would potentially consider playing it. This would be great if Nathan was just like a few years older. Like, I feel like that's when my Nintendo phase will kick in, where it's like, I wouldn't play this necessarily myself, but with my son, I would probably really enjoy it and then ingrain him in that. So from a Metacritic perspective, I can't remember who predicted first last time. I think you did, so I think I'm actually up.
Okay. I'm curious about how you're going to go with this because I have a theory for mine.
Yeah, it's difficult because this game has been remade in the past, like you said, for 3DS. It's not a new entry, so in terms of what it will do, it'll be limited to the framework of what the original was. But then again, it does seem very high quality, but what does that mean from a review perspective?
Exactly.
I think I'm going to go with like 79.
I was actually going in the 70s as well. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to get the Nintendo bump, and that will get it to an 80. So that's where I'm like, 79 probably gets me close. But then I can see this game being, I can see this getting anywhere between a 7.5 to an 8.5, depending on who's reviewing it. Yeah. So 79 is going to be my guess.
Yeah. I mean, not a bad score.
No.
Like, kind of might not be what Nintendo want in terms of a score, but I think it's fine. It's a solid B plus. I think.
Yeah,
I
or
can't
B
remember how math
minus.
works.
Yeah.
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 But I'm kind of in the same boat. I was gonna give it a little bit lower. I was actually going for a 78.
78.
But
Yeah, I feel that was going to
yeah,
be my other guess. Yeah.
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 Only because exactly what you said, and I've just have always those instances of some Nintendo games. If they're not your cup of tea, they're really not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
And the reviewers, you kind of feel it, and you always get your basic points. You know, if the game is literally, if it's a complete game, you're getting at least a 5.
Yeah.
If it has decent sound design, you're getting 6, graphics 7, then gameplay
Yeah.
getting up there.
No reviews yet, by the way. I just double checked to see if we had a winner
Okay.
already, but nothing yet. So we'll probably know in the next 24 hours.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I be interesting. I'd be happy if it gets higher. Like, good on them for getting anything higher because it would exceed obviously our expectations of,
Yeah.
what the console, what the game's going to be.
Yeah.
And if it sells well, it is going to be a lower price game. It's going to be a $40 game for America. So like a $69 game for us, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw it for 89 at eBay. But they're always sometimes more expensive. I just go to there as the starting point. Yeah.
The new price match.
Yeah. I'm going to... I think I will play through the demo. I think the demo does have like a main level. So I want to try it. But, I mean, there's so many games to play. So many.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this will be one of those games where I'll pick up in future.
Yeah.
Being a... Like, I will also play the demo. It's there for us. Why not take advantage of it? But
Yeah.
in the sense of it being a game I actually want to be like, oh, I can't wait to play it. That's not this game for me.
No.
It's no Ocarina of Time.
No.
But
Exactly.
I do like the fact that they're reliving their Nintendo kind of going good with their IPs and like bringing something back. Like they did Donkey Kong the year before,
Yeah.
getting its first like 3D platformer since 64.
Yeah, I hope this leads to a new game now, because I feel like this game's been bringing ahead enough. Yeah.
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 Like Kirby had his Forgotten Land.
Forgotten Lands, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, give me a what's it called? Captain Falcon. What's it called?
Star Fox.
No. Captain Falcon. Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Something
F-Zero.
F-Zero.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
It was there, so
We
I could
gamers,
see
boys.
the logo in my mind. That's why I see the big F, but I'm like, what's the other part? Yeah.
Yeah. Give me an F-Zero next,
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
Who made those games? Was it Nintendo? I don't think Nintendo made it. F-Zero. Maybe I'm completely wrong because I'm not... Developed and published by Nintendo. Yeah, I know the first one was, but the
GameCube one?
GameCube one.
GameCube one was not published by F-Zero GX.
Yeah, who made that? Developers... No, it was Nintendo.
Okay.
Interesting. Ryoga Goku Studios listed as a developer, which is the Sega team. That's why I thought it was Sega. Yeah, okay. But it's obviously a Nintendo IP. Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I think...
I mean, Sega knows speed.
Exactly. They go very fast. So yeah, that's our predictions. 78 and 79 will obviously have an answer in the next 24 hours. But Vinny, so far, that one correct score that you got for 007, was it? No, sorry, Batman Lego was got you ahead. I'm going to have to get my clown makeup ready for our end of year bet. So,
Yeah, true.
Vinny,
Oh, we got another 6 months.
we've got another 6 months. We've got plenty of time. It's been a pleasure. As we wrap this up, anything else you wanted to kind of touch on or rant about before we wrap her up?
You know what? I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm gonna let you know how I go with this Star Fox. I'm gonna play some games. That's it. I need time to play some games. I want to finish 007. I want to finish Mean of the Hollower. I want to play Star. I don't know if I want to play Star Fox, but I want to do those two things.
Don't get me started. I think I'm going to finish 007, and then I'm going to try. I've had it this entire time, and the expansion's coming out. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink,
Okay.
which does have a co-op option, but doesn't sound like you might. Might not be something you're. It's probably cheap, the base game. But yeah, I might move on to that. It's like a 20-hour action RPG. That's like the story's apparently meh, but the it's fun, especially in a co-op scenario. So I think I might try to just play through that, and then if I really do love it, Endless Ragnarok, which is their expansion's launching next month, so I can always move straight into that. So that's my plan. But we'll see. Data 2, don't have any time for anything.
Yeah.
Surprising I have time to do this every fortnight. But if you have stumbled across us, consider subscribing to the channel. And let us know why you have no time or money for video games and why the world has abandoned you. Vinny, it's been an absolute pleasure as we wrap up with my flu yet again. Do you want to send us away?
May the power protect you.
Goodbye. Stay safe.